the absolute poker legend and the Poker Stars pro, Vanessa Zelps. Vanessa, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to concentrate on your life a little bit here. You once said that you're going to play poker just for a few years and then go back to studying law and being a lawyer.
Right.
What's going on with that plan?
Well, you know, it goes back and forth, honestly, all the time. When I went to law school in 2008, I thought that I was sort of going to be out of poker and just play as a hobby for a while. But obviously then 2 years later I went back into poker and took some time off of law school. But I went back to law school and I finished just last month. So I graduated. I haven't taken the bar yet, so I have to do that. It's kind of a big obligation. So I think I'm planning on doing it maybe next year or the year after, probably in February because I can't miss the World Series poker. So, I plan on hopefully doing both. We'll see how it goes.
What do you think, what kind of skills does a lawyer or a law student have to be good at playing poker?
Well, I think there's some crossover between law and poker in sort of the deductive and analytical reasoning skills. The same way you narrow down a hand range on, trying to figure out what someone has when you're playing poker. It's a pretty similar skill set to trying to figure out what the law should be based on all the different precedent and everything that's been going on. You're sort of just like taking what all the set of possibilities is and then narrowing down based on what's logical. So I actually think that there is some crossover there, and maybe that's what's led me to succeed at both. I don't know.
You've had great success in Europe and the States. Given the opportunity to choose, where would you play most likely?
Well, I plan on playing both. I really like, the European Poker Tour is awesome. It's growing every year. These fields are great. A lot of newcomers to the game, which is obviously makes for, good tournaments to play if you're a professional. And the destinations are really cool. At the same time, the U.S., it's closer to home. I like the fact that I can, be in a poker tournament and understand what people are saying at the table, and sort of it's a more jovial kind of atmosphere. And I also feel like I have a better handle on the way American players play. So, I've been having a little bit more experience in Europe recently, and so I'm getting to know that style a little bit as well. But I think right now, if I had to choose only one, it would be U.S., but it's really close, and I'm just glad that I get to play both.
You've made a name of yourself playing tournaments, but do you play cash games as well?
Well, I used to play a lot of cash games. When I was in law school, I didn't really have time because I was playing tournaments all the time, and when I wasn't playing tournaments, I was studying. So I think, my cash game has been a little rusty in the last year, but I've been playing a little more in the last few months, and I definitely plan on playing more in the future. So I'm getting back in the groove, but it's not as if I'm some newcomer to cash games. Like, I definitely have some experience, and I think once I, work out the kinks in my game from taking a 4-year hiatus, I think I'll be back winning at the big cash games as well.
What is the limits that you're playing now? Obviously, before you were playing smaller ones.
If I'm playing a cash game, I'll probably play like a 25-50 or a 50-100. I don't really like to play much bigger than that. I don't know, for some reason, it's not like when I'm at the table, I'm going to play differently. I definitely will still make a $30,000 bluff or whatever, but it's definitely tougher, first of all. But it's also just, I don't like the swings that much. I mean, when you're playing tournaments predominantly and then you go play cash games occasionally, if you have like a negative 200K, 300K swing, all of a sudden you have to win a tournament to break even, and it's just like, that's kind of would be frustrating. So I think I'm most comfortable sticking with around, up to 50, 100, I would say.
And now to some sensitive questions that I have for you. Jason Somerville made an announcement recently that he's gay. Do you think that that's going to encourage more players to come out?
Hopefully with him doing it and they see me and the way I am, hopefully that will encourage some more people to do that. But I guess we'll just have to see. I'm really, I think it's a really important thing that he did come out, because it's, it's a shame that people feel that they can't, be who they are. Especially when you're playing the circuit. This is your life. I mean, you're going from stop to stop. You're seeing the same people, and if you can't be honest about your relationship, I mean, it's just really tough to develop relationships with people when you're not being honest about who you are.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. I congratulate you on the success you've had so far. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks a lot.